Hey, you guys, thanks for listening into this episode of Tips with T. On today, I have Miss Caroline with us. Hey, Miss Caroline, how you doing today?
I'm good, thanks. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you for being a guest on the show. So tell us a little bit more about yourself and what you do.
Yeah, so I'm a business, mentor and consultant, and I work with introverts to create introvert-friendly businesses. So much of what you see out there on the internet is designed by extroverts, for extroverts, and it can really feel like for introverts that they just don't fit into that online business world, when in actual fact it's often like a perfect place for introverts to start a business. Mm-hmm. Or to, if they've already started and are starting to burn themselves out, to pivot their business so that it works in a way with their introversion, so that they feel good about themselves and they're thriving, rather than their business trying to swallow them up whole. Mm-hmm. So what I do is I help people to develop business models and systems that actually work with their introversion.
Awesome. So and that's what we're going to talk about today, like being an introvert as an entrepreneur. I can be a little bit of an introvert. So I guess how can we come or accomplish things like, when it comes to managing our energy, maybe like in the pricing and packaging services, and then like setting up systems. So like how can we accomplish those things? Because I know those tend to be like the three main things a lot of people struggle with. So how can we accomplish those things as introverts entrepreneurs?
Yeah, so I think they are probably the three main ones, and I think the fourth one is probably just mindset, believing that as an introvert you can actually do it. Mm-hmm. So with the energy, it's really, I think, once you understand that you're an introvert and that you get your energy from being alone, from yourself, whereas extroverts get their energy from spending a lot of time with people, you can start to see how you can manage your week or your day to work with that energy. Mm-hmm. So it could be, and it varies from introvert to introvert how they want to do it, but it's about thinking, if you have a lot of calls, if you're doing coaching or something like that, that you schedule time after your calls to actually, decompress. Because while you may love doing the calls, and I love talking to my clients, it is tiring. So I need to make sure that I schedule time in to be able to spend some time by myself doing things that actually restore my energy. And then it's also about thinking, maybe for me, I don't like to do more than 2 or 3 calls a day, because I just find that's all my energy can manage. Whereas I know some of my clients, they like to do all their calls on one day and then have a whole day for recovery, the next day, where they can be creating, writing, reading, doing the things that, make them feel good as an introvert. So managing your energy, I think, once you start to realize that that's how you get your energy, you start to look at how you can schedule your day better, or your week better, to work for you and your introversion. And then with the business model side of things, I think there's a tendency for people to think, introverts should go into like online courses where they don't actually have to talk to anyone at all. When that's not, I've got lots of clients who love talking, like me, love talking to their clients. It's more that you have to set it up so it works for you. Yeah. And I think particularly for the one-on-one side of things, the big piece is the pricing. If you don't get your pricing and your packages right, then you're going to have to talk to a lot of people to be able to make your income. So as an introvert, if you're doing one-on-one services, you really have to get that pricing element, so the pricing is high enough that you're not having to talk to 10 people a day just to cover your bills. I mean, everyone should be doing that anyway, but particularly for introverts, it's important that they've got their prices high enough that they don't have to talk to, more people than their energy levels can handle. And then with systems, for me, it's about putting in place systems so you're not wasting that energy on activities on social activities, or people-to-people activities that don't fill you up. So I'm thinking here, for some introverts, and I find email fine, but quite a few of my introvert clients really struggle with emails, and they find that emails are the same as a social interaction for them. They find it really draining. So we do look at a couple of things. We can look at automating their systems so that instead of going back and forth to arrange times for coaching calls, they can put in place their systems. There's plenty of systems out there, a whole range of them, where, people can book automatically. meets time zone. So all that admin stuff has gone. But also have just simple things like having templates for emails. So they're not trying to think of, what they should be saying to that person every time. Over time, you start answering all the same questions when you get into business. And so you can easily write up a template email that will answer most of those questions, and then you only have to tailor little bits. And I find just making those really simple tweaks can make a big difference to how someone feels about their business.
Yeah. And I really appreciate that because even with me, like I'm learning too, like me as an introvert, a little bit, like I do, I learned over time that it is good to have like a standard welcome letter to go out to everybody, especially during tax season for me, because that's the overwhelming season.
Yeah.
So I send out like a welcome letter, or hey, it's a reminder email, hey, it's time to get your taxes done, don't forget this and that. Even though someone might come back and ask me the same questions, I'll be like, well, did you refer to the email that I sent you? So I can yeah. So that can kind of free up some of my time as far as explaining a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And I have found that to be helpful too. So I'm glad you did say that. And then like you said, with the automated scheduler, setting up a schedule so they can go and book their own times, that was very helpful for me. That way I can just put in block off the times that I feel like is best for me during my peak times of the day, and they can just utilize that time frame, which I found to be very helpful to me as an introvert entrepreneur. But I know another thing you had mentioned was mindset. So tell us all about the mindset and how that can help us to accomplish certain things when it comes to being an introvert entrepreneur.
Yeah, I think the big thing about mindset is, as I said, there's so much, we see so many people being entrepreneurs out there, and they're really loud and they're out there all the time and they're talking all the time. And so I think, particularly for people, who are in my age group, where things like there was, cold calling when we first started working was the way you made sales. And now they're seeing all these people being super visible. It can just feel like, as an introvert, that actually you're not made for business, that you need to stay in your corporate job, that you can't do selling, that it's going to be horrible and you're going to just feel icky all the time. When in actual fact, there's so many introvert entrepreneurs out there who are doing things their own way. They're marketing in unique ways. They're leveraging relationships they have. They're using SEO, all that kind of thing to do their marketing. So for me, the big thing about mindset is really just making the effort to see, I think, that there are introvert entrepreneurs who are out there who are doing it in ways that perhaps you could as well. And start to shift that mindset that you have to be that loud person who's always out there all the time, going to networking meetings, calling people all the time, that there are other ways of doing this, and just finding other introverts, and there's loads of them out there once you start digging, who are doing things their own way, and seeing how you could actually pick up some of the ways they've done their business so that your business will work for you rather than against you.
Yeah.
So I really think just being able to see how other people are doing it can really shift your mindset that actually it is possible, because there's so much societal conditioning that, a lot of introverts grow up being told they're too quiet or they're shy. And so they've already got this bit of a mindset that they're a bit less. And I think that's something they can overcome, not easily, but they can overcome by seeing what other people are doing who are introverts and how they're making it work for them.
Okay. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Ms. Caroline, for coming on the show today and being a guest. So tell us, our listeners, how they can get in contact with you. I will share the social media handles, and then you can talk about any services or any products that you might be offering at this time as well.
Yep. So my website is quietlyextraordinary.com, and my social media handles are pretty much all just Quietly Caroline. So that's the best way to get in contact with me. I'm probably most active on Instagram. And the main service I'm offering at the moment is what I call a thoughtful business pause. So it's just a short 2 sessions with me with a bit of reflection to come up with a way. We spend the first session looking at what is and isn't working in your business now. And then in the next session, coming up with a plan as to what you want your business to look like, and coming up with a plan as to how you can start getting there. Because obviously, if you're going to make big changes, it doesn't happen in a day. So working out how you can slowly make steps to make your business more friendly for your personality.
Awesome. And if you guys want to get in contact with me, feel free by doing so. My number is 910-317-0396. You can shoot me an email at contact@mjfinancial.biz. You can schedule a consultation with me at www.mjfinancial.biz. You can find this episode on Anchor, you guys, and you can also find the playback video for this episode on the YouTube channel as well. So thank you once again.
Thank you for having me. It's been lovely to talk to you.
Thank you for being a guest on the show once again. And all right, you guys, we will be seeing you on the next episode of Tips for Tea.